Electricity, one of the most important innovations of all time. It is a phenomenon that has become indispensable to human prosperity. It has become the driving force for industrialization and the world economy. Because of this, there is a need for the process of creating electricity, especially in a country such as Nigeria, where electricity has been a historical problem. The current administration, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, has laid down a roadmap that is geared towards resolving existing challenges in the power sector while expanding the capacity for future power needs in the country.
We always tell Mr. President that what he's done to ensure electrification will transform the many lives of Nigerian citizens, and the President's target and the administration's target to take 10 million people out of poverty every year will also rest on the power interventions and the electrification work that we're doing.
The Electric Power Reform Act created the Rural Electrification Agency in 2005, REA. The REA, a parastatal of the Ministry of Power, is mandated to provide access to reliable electric power to the unserved and underserved communities across the country. The agency does this by exploiting a range of novel energy solutions such as mini-grids, solar home systems, and grid extensions, depending on their energy needs and socio-economic landscape of the beneficiary communities.
Rural Electrification Agency, of course, being an implementing agency under the Federal Ministry of Power, we have been tasked with identifying rural areas, unserved and underserved areas, and providing them with the well-needed electricity. And we do that via various means, some through budgetary allocations, but most importantly, we look to attract private sector financing and investments where we have private sector developers who come and deploy various technologies, especially technologies around solar technologies, be it mini-grids, solar home systems, and we take these technologies to unserved and underserved areas within Nigeria.
With the President's continued call for interagency and intersectoral collaboration for impact, the REA has continued to open its doors widely to private sector investments, development finance institutions, as well as strategic collaborations with other government agencies.
The Muhammadu Buhari administration has done very well in this direction. If you be following our development, you see that we have established many mini-grids in all the geographical zones of the country and data institutions as well. We also have projects for the hospitals, tertiary hospitals and clinics. That's also in the face of the COVID-19 program. We are doing that as well.
The Honorable Minister of Power, Engineer Salim Mamman, received the members of the reconstituted board of the Rural Electrification Agency. The board debriefed the ministry on the agency's growth plans as well as strategic roadmap in line with the President Muhammadu Buhari's call for accelerated energy access as detailed in the power sector roadmap.
We continue to communicate and engage both internally and externally between the REA officers, the REA staff, donors, investors, just to continue to share this vision and solicit input on new projects and updates to prepare and plan for implementation. Also, of course, to continue to align with future REA priority programs.
For the first time in the history of the agency, a high-level engagement between the agency and the National Assembly was held in Abuja. Beyond the valuable feedback from the members, House Committees on Power and Appropriation, the workshop enabled a deeper dive into the importance of off-grid technologies in closing the energy gap, as well as the need to channel resources better for sustainable impact. As the world continues to devise ways to battle with the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Nigerian government, through the Office of the Vice President as well as the CBN, designed a timely Strategic Economic Sustainability Plan (ESP) to cushion the effects of the pandemic on Nigeria and Nigerians.
As we reflect on 2020, most will remember a year of great change and challenge, a year of rapid adjustment and shifting priorities, but also a year of incredible success, innovation, and partnership. Throughout 2020, USAID, through the Power Africa Nigeria Power Sector Program, had the opportunity to work in lockstep with the Rural Electrification Agency to create meaningful and impactful change across Nigeria's off-grid sector.
I must admit, it has been a very tough year, and we're seeing now that we're also having another resurgence of it. So I'm just hoping that it won't be as bad as it was. However, when we were hit with this pandemic, His Excellency, the President Muhammadu Buhari, did mention in his first speech after the lockdown that it's very important for us to continue to have intersector and interagency collaborations in government. So taking a key from that, our own Minister of Power, Engineer Saleh Mamman, also mentioned that our agency would be trying to help some of these areas that have been hit with the pandemic. We actually deployed 4 mini grids during that period. We deployed a mini grid in the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital. We did another mini grid in Ogun State. We did 2 actually in Ogun State and 1 in Lagos State. Those were the 3 states that were mostly hit by the pandemic. And what happened within that period is that since we actually deployed those mini grids, there has been a new surge of investment from foreign donors into the healthcare sector. So what you find is that right now we are even having an arrangement under the current Nigerian electrification program with the World Bank to power 100 isolation and treatment centers and 400 primary healthcare facilities in the next couple of years.
A critical component of the ESP is the Solar Power Niger, a program designed to increase energy access through 5 million new solar connections, serving about 25 million individual Nigerians who are currently not connected to the national grid. The program is also designed to increase local content in the off-grid value chain while providing about 250 jobs in the energy sector for Nigeria.
The project is actually emphasizing on local assembling and manufacturing because the whole program is part of the economic sustainability plan approved by the Mr. President and chaired by His Excellency the Vice President as well. So the program in itself is trying to provide 5 million connections to 25 million households, and where we look to now create over 250 jobs. So the REA is the implementing agency for that, and is looking to have a synergy between the Solar Power Niger program and the Nigerian electrification project that we're currently running, so that the 2 programs will complement themselves in trying to articulate and take power to unserved and underserved areas.
These solutions make sense. For you to do mini grids or these off-grid systems. We have a responsibility as a government to cater for them under the laws that we have that set up the Rural Electrification Agency. It is a rural agency, and we'll continue to focus on that. And you can see the efforts with the Economic Sustainability Plan to boost financing. This is the largest intervention in that space that we've had in the history of those agencies.
We successfully launched the Solar Power Niger program that will bring solar home system connections to 5 million Nigerian households. We implemented activities to mainstream gender and integrate women into the off-grid sector and the solar home system value chain. We collaborated to develop a new vision and strategy for the Rural Electrification Agency that will create a roadmap for the future of rural electrification in the country. And we brought together key stakeholders to harmonize and strengthen our efforts to improve the off-grid power sector in general.
This solar energy will guarantee improvement in the health of our people. We know the health hazard that is associated with the discharge of electrons from the regular electricity that we use. But with this clean energy, the health of our people is guaranteed humanly.
What else again do we need to express our gratitude and appreciation to His Excellency Muhammad Buhari, the President of the Federal Republic, and His Excellency our dear Governor, Engineer Chief David Mezomangi, who provided the enabling environment for the establishment of this project.
We've got this equipment because if we vandalize it, we kill ourselves. So my urge to us all is to ensure that this project is protected, supervised, and encouraged to grow so our people can benefit from it.
The federal government does not only intend to provide electricity in the communities, but of course, beyond that, stimulate the economy and productive activities in such communities. As you heard from the MD of Cloud Energy, they are going to actually develop a rice processing plant here just because of this power. So this is exactly why the REA goes into this kind of projects to stimulate the economy and create jobs.
Project is in line with the Rural Electrification Agency mandate and the federal government next level agenda to improve the electricity access to Nigeria and to Nigerians. I am humbled that this initiative is happening in our own state, our own dear state, Anambra.
Our patients now come because they are assured of being taken adequate care of, plus enjoying light all through the day and night.
Thank REA and the board for coming to our aid when we made requests. And today, Joint Hospital Ozobolo, being energized today has become a reality.
This project is coming at a very timely moment as we push to recover from COVID-19 pandemic. As mandated by the federal government, we continue to implement sustainable and reliable energy infrastructure, deploying using off-grid technologies, powering the critical facilities at Ozoblo is another testament of this impact of renewable energy to healthcare infrastructure.
This, we say, may it be beneficial to this community.
Amen.
Bring development.
Amen.
Increase productivity.
Amen.
And may the peace of the Lord be unto this community.
Amen. Thank you.
You know, you cannot run a hospital without water and light, especially in the night. We used to have emergency cases. So, by giving us this electricity now, there is light here every night.
Before the arrival of the solar energy, we will be suffering from a power supply. But as of now, we are enjoying it.
In terms of scaling up, the President has approved the program, especially in light of COVID, to extend to more hospitals. The first phase of that will be for 100 isolation and treatment centers, COVID isolation and treatment centers, which is going to be funded by World Bank. And on the strength of that, we'll have another 400 that will do across Nigeria. The first 100, we have reached advanced stages of procurement, so very soon we'll be going around the country to implement and commission.
People of Algotuzi, you have a brand new 300 kVA transformer. and this is expected to last for as long as it can, or as long as you have pledged to protect it. This facility, you are saying, will give you power, and you are going to use it for economic activities. So it is incumbent upon you not to go to sleep. You should please be vigilant, keep an eye on this equipment, make sure it is protected from vandalism.
In line with the President's vision and plans for ensuring that electricity reaches the unserved and underserved areas, we're delighted to be here today to commission this project. As always, the Federal Ministry of Power continues to provide all necessary support to its agencies like the REA to ensure that we reach one community at a time. And today, we're very happy to be here in Katsina State.
tabbas mun ji daɗi sosai da wannan wuta da muka samu gare saboda abinda muka daɗe muna nema ne.
Gaskiya na yi mamaki sosai, ni haifaffen unguwar Dutse ne amma na kai shekara 30 ban taba ganin ci gaba ba irin wannan da Allah ya kawo mana wannan gwamnati mai adalci.
This is especially gratifying for us as a rural community. We can now experience what electricity brings in economy, prosperity. This is a major development as new business opportunities in milling, processing, storage, and external trades will now become a reality for our industrial people.
It's deep to declare this 30 kilowatt power plant open.
Godiya ga Allah, muna godiya ga shugaban kasar Najeriya, muna godiya ga gwamnan jihar Katsina, muna godiya ga su REA da suka samu dama suka kawo mu al'ummar wannan ci gaba ba karami ba.
Muna gaba da Katsina, muna iya ruga da kawaho mu je Katsina guje ko mu dawo guje, amma ba mu da wuta. Tsawon shekaru mu tun da muka tashi da wayarmu da hankalinmu, amma yau ga ranar da Allah ya kawo mu mun samu wuta gab da Katsina muke, amma yau mun fara gari mun farin ciki.
I must commend the leadership of the REA, led by the distinguished managing director, for keeping the fire burning. REA is now one of the most active and influential government agencies in Nigeria.
I'm happy to also inform you that based on this electricity, you are going to have more programs that will come here. Within the REA and other international agencies that will encourage you in the work that you are doing to sustain your life economically.
It also gives us pleasure to announce that we have, like the MD of REA stated before, as well as with some other developers, we expect that the private sector will have at least 30 mini grids in Oyo State within the next 12 months.
I'm happy to hear that some of the people that are even being used currently to carry out some of the operations of the plant are actually within this particular community.
We'll do everything within our power to ensure that indeed no person and no community is left behind in Oyo State.
Light pass engine self, because any place where light dey, the place will expand quickly. Kuma ibi tí mo wà yìí mo enjoy ìgbà yìí dáadáa torí sometimes go àti lo engine yẹn.
If I wan use fuel, na I will use 4 litre to work. But this solar bar, na people I dey use na 1,000 for 12 days or 13 days.
They has promised us since before that they will give us light. Now today, we can say thank God we have the light. 24 hours, there is light.
particular, for allowing this to happen in our time.
I'm most grateful that God has made it possible to witness today, especially the completion of this project. Just like the day it was visualized, we never knew that today will come.
Ask me to help, first of all, appreciate the Rural Electrification Agency for your tireless work empowering unserved and underserved communities around the nation. Believe me, we know that we have a special love for Kogi, but we have understood that this is what happens everywhere across the country. And for that, we really want to appreciate the MD and his team for this fantastic work that you're doing in providing power for the people.
The idea of providing and increasing power access to millions of Nigerians through off-grid power as mandated by the federal government is very critical as to ensure the equitable delivery of social and economic benefits that would improve lives.
Plateau State government is fully committed to working with the federal government and private sector investors in completing the reforms of the power sector that will lead us towards realizing our dream of rapid expansion, decentralized renewable energy in the state to improve our social well-being and also enable people to engage in meaningful economic activities such as small and medium-scale manufacturing, processing, and retail.
I'm proud to say that the federal government has been emphasizing a lot on this, and there's a roadmap here at the REA to enable us power one community at a time. And the REA has supervised and implemented mini-grid projects across multiple rural areas, educational institutions, hospitals and businesses.
This is one of the many projects in line to increase energy access by the federal government of Nigeria.
We are very grateful to have this light here. I want to thank the federal government, the state government and the local government for collaborating with the agencies to bring this light.
You are also intervening in the rural roads. You should also help and assist the government in supplying rural electricity to our rural areas.
The project was started before I even went to the Senate. And when I became the chairman and I was briefed as to some of the universities that were beneficiaries, this institution was one of them. And I insisted that in commissioning, they must complete it and we must commission it. And that is why I mounted a lot of pressure on that young man who is the MD. Since he was appointed, every time he comes to see me, I say, Uni-Agric Makedi must be commissioned.
The Energizing Education Program is an initiative of the federal government of Nigeria, supervised by the Federal Ministry of Power and implemented by the Rural Electrification Agency. The EEP was designed to develop off-grid hybrid captive power solution for the generation and provision of clean and sustainable power to 37 federal universities and 7 teaching hospitals across the country.
It's a very rare privilege, and I think we should get our hands together to appreciate what the federal community has.
By the powers conferred on me by the ancestors of the land are unveiled today, the 4th of December 2020.
You can see during the program we also had the privilege of training some students during the construction phase, and they will also continue to stay with them during the operations and maintenance phase.
It is a major development as business opportunity in farming, processing, storage, and external trade will now become a reality for our industry people.
We will continue to build a robust relationship with the partners in the renewable energy program so that we can empower more rural communities to attract our youths to contribute to the socio-economic development of the communities and the state in general.
All the support of our President Muhammadu Buhari, as well as the guidance of the Federal Ministry of Power under our two able ministers, Engineer Saleh Mamman and Mr. Godi Jedi Agba, our objective is to continue to close this energy gap in Nigeria faster than ever before.
Panels are called monocrystalline solar panels. They are most efficient solar panels that we have now in this state. And now, as we have it, you now see that the generator will now supply electricity to the battery when there is.
Muna gode ma shi oga baban Buhari, muna gode ma su executive da sauransu. Mun da aka kawo kan wannan wutan na gaskiya muna farin ciki sosai.
Farin ciki sosai. Ko ba gaskiya ba, gwamnati ya kara mashi.
That the agency responsible for this is the Rural Electrification Agency, which is under my purview. And I can tell you, I'm personally satisfied, and the President is satisfied with what we are doing.
The President is pushing every day, and we believe that with NERC, REA, obviously under the leadership of the ministry, and the support that we get from the President and the Vice President, that better days ahead for Nigerians.